Good morning from the Kumano Kodo. I am in the Key Peninsula and I'm walking the Kumano Kodo trail, and it's a nice day. So this morning I left the hotel, had a nice Japanese breakfast again and walked to the station, got the bus, and I'm just coming up the hill. This is a tough climb because this is the first bit that you hit of the trail, and it's relatively steep. But it's quite nice and pleasant, and I'm getting away from the road, so it's nice and quiet. Afternoon. I am on the last kilometre or so, I think, before Takijiri, where I'm stopping tonight. So tomorrow was going to be a 24-kilometre day, and today has been a 12-kilometre day, 13 I think now, and has made me rethink the use of buses. So I'll check it, but tomorrow I think there's a reasonable amount of up and down, and I think that I'm going to struggle to get to where I need to be in time for dinner if I don't take a little shortcut. So that's my plan. I will join the hordes and I will jump on the bus tomorrow and cut a little bit of the bit to Hongu off. So I've enjoyed today. It's a forest. There's little every now and again you find a nice little bit of good autumn colour, which is beautiful. I went to the top of the mountain and had my lunch up there, and it was lovely. It was nice views up there, nice and quiet, nobody else up there. Yeah, it was good. I've collected a few stamps today. I think I've got 5 so far. Not sure how many I'm supposed to have, but any are a bonus because I wasn't going to collect them at all. And I've got my Gishoin booklet for the special stamps in the temples. Nothing else to say really, just has been really nice. Let's walk for a little bit and have a look at the path as I walk through it. So, welcome to my accommodation for tonight. I'm in Chikatsuyu, and after the business hotel I had in Kaitanabe last night, I've managed to book myself into quite a nice Japanese apartment. So, that was the entrance hall. This is the bedroom, kitchen, with fridge and loads of pots and pans and things like that in the cupboards. Then a nice little comfortable seating area, and out into the garden, which is also lovely. So there you go. And look at this. This caught my eye when I was coming in. This kimono hanging up on the wall is just beautiful. Looks like a very modern style, but just really nice. So there we go. So this is me for today. I'm feeling very chilled at the moment. Chikatsuyu is a tiny little place. It's very quiet, unless there's something going on in your hotel or your lodging. There's really nothing really happening. The shop and the restaurant both close at 6 o'clock, so they're both closed now. So it's really a very pleasant sort of wind down time. And I think tomorrow is going to be a bit busier in the onsens and Hongu, but that's okay. I will take advantage of that there. But today I think I'm going to take advantage of the fact that it's quiet here. I've got this whole place to myself. There is no noise. I've had my dinner. I've got a little bit of whiskey, and I'm going to enjoy that. And I'm going to enjoy the fact that I can go to bed and have a little rest and crack on in the morning. Use the bus to cut it short because otherwise it's going to be too long a day. It's a 12-hour day and I really haven't got that much daylight at the moment. And also, I just don't want to be that late. Apparently the bus only cuts really off the road walking section, so that's a bonus, and I've got a history of doing buses to cut off the road walking, so I've got no qualms about that at all. Actually having a little rest and just relaxing a little bit is what's supposed to happen on a holiday, isn't it? So there we go. Tomorrow, early start, well, same time as normal, start at 6 o'clock, get going, get on the bus, see how we go. Good morning and welcome to day 2. So after pretty much surviving the overland track and the duck boards, I have now got to contend with the stripped pine bridges on the Kumano Kodo. That's another one, which are also slippery as anything. I don't know what it is about people that make trails in Japan and Australia, but they certainly want to kill off their pilgrims. So I'm on this is the diversion in the Kumano Kodo. This opened sometime a couple of months ago, I think. It's a slightly different route to what was being walked earlier this year or last year. But still really beautiful. There's the trees up here still in autumn colour, and it's just really nice. Because it's still 9 o'clock in the morning, it's still misty and beautiful up here and quiet. So it's very quiet. Just back there where that shelter is the junction to the track to the Yunamin onsen, which is where I'm staying tonight. It's a shortcut and it cuts off about 4 kilometres or so. But I'm going to stick with this path actually because I think this is the more travelled one, and I think there's more of the OGs and things to see. Like for example, I'm just coming up to one here, so which is I think a good start. So I was thinking that if I was running out of time or tired, that I might do the shortcut. But because it's still it's 11 o'clock and it's only 10 kilometres, I think, even if I don't get the bus. So I shall carry on and do the path as planned. I'm on the descent now into Hongu. Behind me is the view of the massive Torii Gate, and as I was coming down the hill a little bit earlier, I'm sure I can smell some of the incense coming from the area. So Hongu is one of the big temple areas. There's 3 here. There's Hongu, there's Nichi, and then there's another one up the coast. And of course there is Koyasan, which is where I came from before. Walk's been okay. It's just coming up for 2 o'clock. Not too bad. Looking forward to getting brave enough to actually go and try a onsen or traditional Japanese bath experience when I get down to Yonamin, which is where I'm staying tonight. So yes, and then tomorrow, because I've got a very short day, I'm going to do a bit more exploring around Hongu. So there we go, on the way down to Hongu. So I have had an interesting time getting to my hotel in Yonamin. So a very traditional, very basic hotel. Not a little tour around. Here I have a Japanese bath, so I'm going to go and try and use that in a minute. I've looked it up on the internet again to work out what I need to do. I am fortifying myself a little bit because at the supermarket I bought myself a little single cup of sake. So I'm fortifying myself with a little bit of sake first, and hoping that that's going to make it easier for me to negotiate the traumas of trying to work out what to do in a communal bath. So there we go. I'll report back after the event. Let's have another sip of sake and see how we go. Well, as you can tell from the little towel just hanging up there drying, I have had my Japanese bath. I lasted all of 5 minutes. It was hot. You undress, you go in, you have a wash and soap yourself down, then you rinse all the soap off, then you get into the hot tub part, and that was warm, very warm. It was not quite scalding, but it was certainly, I lasted 5 minutes and I thought that I was probably not going to do myself any good by staying any longer. But I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure it did my muscles and my joints and everything some good. And then once I'd done, got out, dried myself and put my clothes back on. But it was, it's like having a bath in a very hot cup of tea. It's going to be very sticky putting your clothes back on. I think now, I think it's time to put some clothes back on and go and have a little explore around town and just see what, it's not very big, it's not going to take me very long, but I can have a little look around and just enjoy it before I have some dinner. Okay, I'm just back from dinner, and this hotel might be a little bit run down, or a little bit black mouldy and a little bit damp downstairs, especially around the bar. But actually the dinner was really nice. The dinner was exquisite, and in comparison to what I got last night, way better. But it does make me think that in reality I feel like a Philistine. I am eating an exquisite cuisine and really well presented and have absolutely no idea what to do with it. So I just sort of can't really handle the cutlery, don't really know what combinations work together, don't know what order I should be eating it, don't know what half of it is. So really nice food, very cack-handed eating it, really don't know what's going on with it, but it was lovely. So it's I turn around, you can see it's a nice misty morning this morning. Quiet. I've just come down from the Hashinoman Oji site, which is where I passed through yesterday, at the top of the hill. So I'm backtracking at the moment. I'm walking backwards on a bit of the Kumano Kodo, because I'm going back to do the shortcut route down into Yonami. But this evening I've got another onsen accommodation, and I'll be be able to do it in the river, which will be a novel experience. So that'll be fun. So yeah. So that's my plan for today. I had thought that Honggu would offer more to do and more to sort of experience. I thought there was more temples and things there. I was thinking that it was a bit like the area around Koyasan, but it's not. There's the one big temple, and then the rest of the place is pretty much a little town. But anyway, it's a nice morning, misty, quiet, cool. I'm going to enjoy my little walk because I think I'm going to hit this bit of the track before all of the Kumano Kodo has come through, so I think it should be a quiet section. Off I go. Well, you might be able to tell from my attire and my flushed face that I'm just back from another onsen bath. This is the one with the river bath, so it was a public bath by the river. It's just basically an area, one end's hot, one end's cooler, and it was really pleasant. I did take a onsen beer down with me, which was quite pleasant as well. But actually it was really nice just sitting in the water. It wasn't as hot as the one last time, so I was able to stay for quite a while. And I went up to the hot end a couple of times and came back. But yeah, really pleasant, really enjoyable. So it's been good, I've really enjoyed it. I've definitely enjoyed doing this bit. I think that doing the Kumano Kodo was a good option. You know, getting out into the countryside of Japan is really nice, and this was a good way to do it. You definitely see a lot of small villages that you really wouldn't see otherwise. And not just the ones that I've stayed in, but also the ones that I've walked through. And it's sort of highlighted quite a lot of the history and, you know, how the place works and stuff. So it's been quite good. So it's Tuesday morning, I think, and I'm heading off to Koguchi today. I've been down and had my onsen bath again, which was nice, and yeah, ready for the day. So I'm about to go over and have breakfast. Dinner last night was lovely, but every time I end up, or every restaurant gives you something different to do. Yesterday I went to raw egg, and I really never did work out what I was supposed to do with it. It was supposed to be something to do with the yakitori, and I'm sure I was supposed to dip something into it or something like that, but it was, at the end of the day, a raw egg, so I'm not sure I got it right, but it didn't get eaten. Today, plan walking. I think it's about 17k. Should be a nice walk. There's a shop I need to go to before I leave civilization, because there's not much between here and there, and I've run out of snacks and things, and I need a couple of little snacky things like some fruit to take with me. Yeah, so good day. I'm pleased that I had 2 days here in the onsens. They are very different to Tokyo or Kyoto or Osaka. They are much less westernized. They're much more popular with the Japanese tourists, and they're really set up for that. And so it's a little bit more difficult if you don't really understand what's going on. And I have no problems with that. I recognise that I am a person that speaks no Japanese. So I am definitely a foreigner. Anyway, I think it's time to go and face breakfast and see what new treats I've got that I don't know what to do with. My map tells me it's day 4, and I'm heading towards Koguchi. So I had to do a bit of road walking because I was in the onsens. It was off the track a little bit. Walked and picked up the path, got some more snacks. I think I've overcompensated. I was running short of snacks over the last couple of days, but I have run down to virtually no snacks now. So this section of the path, or today at least, is misty, still and quiet, which is very pleasant. So there we go. So let's crack on. There's no buses up here. This is my little update from Koguchi. So this is day 4. I'm in the lodging. It's another quite spacious Japanese style room. And it's 5 to 6 and I've had dinner already. because we were called to dinner at 5:15. It's not late eating in Japan. It is quite early, but that's okay. So yeah, so today's walk wasn't too bad. I think I was here by 1:30 or something or other. Last night, tomorrow, and then walk out and then catch the train. So another 2 days of walking on the trail. That'll be good. Yes, I've enjoyed it so far. It's been really nice. Konnichiwa, and welcome to day 5. That's my trail heading off up the hill there, so I'm having a bit of a breather. I've got 800 meters of climb today, so it's going to be a tough, slow morning. So last night I was in the old schoolhouse in Koguchi, and that was quite comfortable. So breakfast, we were told that breakfast was 6:15, so my alarm was set for 6 o'clock. And at 6 o'clock the PA system in all the rooms went off and said, breakfast is served, let's all do our best to hike in the mountains. So we're all set off quite early. So this is the earliest start. I started at about 7, but I've got a long way to go. Oof. It's a steady, steep climb today. So I'm currently at 400 meters or thereabouts. The Nachisan Pass passes over the mountain at 860 meters. So I've got 460 meters to climb, and I've got less than 2 kilometers to do that in. So I'm having a little stop for a second because I think it's about to get serious. But apart from that, just sort of, I'm in walking pilgrim mode, which means that I am taking it relatively easy. It feels very zen-like, I feel very pilgrim-like. It feels very calm, and it's nice if I can get a pace like this away from the groups, because it's nice and quiet. Anyway, time to keep moving. So this is the big climb for today. I am 600 meters up, 660 meters up at the moment. I've got to get to 870, so I've got 200 meters to go. It's going all right though. It's 8:45, so I've been doing this 1 hour and 3/4. I passed quite a few of the old inns, so it's quite interesting to see the old history. But everywhere, as soon as they left, they planted trees. So all of this around me is all forestry. This is all cypress, and so not native forest. This is cypress used for housing and construction, although it's pleasant enough to walk through. So yeah, so it's been a bit of a climb, a little bit more to go, and hopefully a nice view from the top. Whew, I've just reached the top of the pass, but it's very nice to see a flat bit. So that took me 2 hours up from Koguchi to here. So I did get overtaken by somebody, and you know how competitive I am. But I did have to try and console myself by thinking, well, he is about 30 years younger than I am. But even in pilgrim mode, I still feel quite competitive about walking and being overtaken. But this is nice. This is nice up here. I've now just passed the little lookout point where you can see Nachi and the port and the little islands. But yeah, it's very nice. I'm enjoying this bit on the ridge. The bit earlier was up and down through valleys, which wasn't as nice as the ridge. Yesterday was a nice ridge walk, and today has now turned into a nice ridge walk as well, so it's good. I'm enjoying this. Right, let's crack on. So the Kumano Kodo finished about a month ago for me now. So the final day of walking was I continued down to Nachisan and booked into the hotel, which was quite a nice little hotel. It had onsen baths, and my room had a view out onto the waterfall, which was quite pleasant and quite nice to have. And so went out, explored the temple, went up the pagoda, went to the waterfall and drank some water from that, which is supposed to give you a long life. So yeah, some things that I really enjoyed doing. So from Nachi, I decided that I would get the bus down the hill rather than walk down. Then get the train towards Shingu and go to the temple there. So I went to that fourth and final temple. And then went back towards Osaka on the train. So I went around the coastway to Osaka on the train, which is very pleasant. You know, it's a long journey. It's no matter which way you go, it takes you about 4.5 hours to get back to Osaka. Overall, I think I'm really pleased that I did it. I had been to Kyoto before, so I was quite happy just to do some of the things that I wanted to do. But it was so busy because of the autumn colour and the number of people that were there. It was really busy, and actually after the busyness of Kyoto and Osaka to come, it was just so beautiful to be out in the countryside and do the walk. I did do the majority of the walk, so I walked from Takijiri all the way through pretty much to Nachi, including doubling up in one of the sections going into Yonomi. And I felt quite happy that I'd done that, and it wasn't too bad a walk. So I think the highlights for me, were I really liked the fact that I got out of the big cities. So I wasn't anywhere like Osaka or Kyoto. I was in towns where the people didn't speak English, where they weren't really geared up for Western tourists, and I think that's a good thing. They were geared up for the traditional things that have been going on there for hundreds of years, and that's what I wanted to see, and that's what I did see. So I'm pleased that I don't think I saw a Starbucks or anything like that for the whole times between leaving Kyoto and getting to Osaka. So it was very much a traditional Japanese experience, and it was quiet. I saw towns that I wouldn't have seen any other way. It was just nice to be in awe of what was happening around me, and just to recognise the otherness and the difference of it. If I went back again, I think I would have preferred to start from Koyasan. Koyasan to me was really nice. I really enjoyed it as a temple stay and as an area where there were so many different temples and so much history. There was a lot going on there. And actually to walk out from Koyasan would have been a really nice thing to do, and to start the Ohechi track rather than the Nakahechi maybe next time.